All right, chat. Man terrified after learning roommate's evil secret. Man terrified after learning. Man terrified after learning roommate's evil secret. Can I hear my motherfucking? Can I hear it? Fuck it. I have headphones right now, chat. Once. Fuck it, headphones right now, chat. You use the soundboard later. Soundboard later. Use the soundboard later, okay? Hey. Alright. Alright.
This is the father and son who own this ranch house
I'm
in
hungry
the New
as
Mexico
fuck.
desert, miles from anywhere. Police believe a murderer is hiding inside their home. Thomas Lopez, a man who days earlier beat his girlfriend to death.
Do you know where he might be staying at or anything?
But what makes this interesting is that the son is
I ain't
in
about to
fact
cry.
hiding this man, and the father is about to find out that
I
his
feel like he
son
about to
is
cry.
protecting a murderer inside the vents of his own home.
They said he might be in the vent.
Thomas, Thomas, talk to me, man. I know you're down there.
We don't come over here for simple stuff.
Yeah. So what's up?
She's dead.
Damn, chat.
On the 24th of
It's
February,
fake juicy.
we're called to a hospital in
Fake
New
heavy.
Mexico to investigate something horrifying. 26-year-old Sabrina Calderon had just been brought in, unconscious, covered in bruises, barely clinging onto life.
Damn.
So her name is Sabrina Calderon.
I watch it. But watch these abusive ass niggas. If he showing sign, he hit you once, dip. Watch these abusive motherfuckers. Will be like this bitch. Watch
It's in
him.
such like dehydration that her kidneys are failing. She is too sick for even us to take care of.
And who brought her in?
I believe they said they thought it was her dad.
What is that, would you say? Is that something from being hit?
Probably. She's 26 years old. She should not be in this condition.
Right.
Sabrina is in such critical condition that the nurses are almost certain she won't survive. But what made the
damn.
hospital so suspicious is that Sabrina's injuries were that of someone who had been viciously beaten, and the man who dropped her off left almost as quickly as he possibly could. The hospital called in police, but with no leads, the cops decided to use her emergency contact info and call up her dad to see if he could shed any light on what just
I
happened.
don't know what it was, so I'm trying to grab her.
Can you hear me now, Mr.
Yo. Welcome to the chat, Seth. Welcome to the chat.
Could you tell me what happened real quick? Why she has these injuries?
Yes, Thomas Lopez, he got it.
Welcome to the
from
chat.
here.
Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream.
He took her over there, and
Where's over
That
there?
is cool.
it's a ranch house. He had her locked up in a room, and he was just beating her. She said he was beating her every day.
Damn.
That
Wait, hold on.
Disturbingly simple.
Hold on.
Why she has these injuries?
Yes, Thomas Lopez, he got her from here. I guess at knife point. He took her over there, and
Where's over there?
it's a ranch house. He had her locked up in a room, and he was just beating her. She said he was beating her every day.
That was almost.
That's your daughter. Why wouldn't? I don't care if that bitch grown as fuck. That's my daughter, and she telling me a nigga is beating on her every day. I know where she at. I'm not gonna do it. What the fuck? If you too scared to go put hands on that nigga yourself, call the police. That's DV. he could go to jail. She don't need to press charges. If there's evidence that she's been being beat, what she say doesn't matter no more. He's going to jail. But I'm not understanding.
Disturbingly simple.
Dad weird.
Apparently, a man had taken her at knife point from her dad's home and was beating her every day at a house out on a ranch somewhere in New Mexico.
A nigga come and take your daughter at knife point. You don't call the police. A nigga come and take your daughter, her nigga or not, with a knife. He doesn't want to go. He has a knife. Only reason she goes. You don't got no strap. You don't call the police. You don't do nothing. You just let him go and go. L Pops, man. L Pops.
The cops find it extremely strange that he never contacted police, so there is some amount of suspicion to cast on him. Regardless, they ask him for some details about the guy that he claims did this to her, knowing that if this lead hits a dead end, they know who to suspect next.
Dad.
Where does he live at?
He was just going from place to place.
How did you get her?
He ended up taking her to the hospital, and I thank God for that. And dropped off and took off.
Do you know what he looks like?
I sure don't. I
Okay.
sure don't.
Say his name one more time.
Thomas Lopez.
Thomas Lopez.
No, his first and last name,
Okay.
but I don't know what he looked like.
Police now have a name. Thomas Lopez. The victim's
Okay.
father claims that Lopez was the one who both attacked and dropped Sabrina off at the hospital, which would explain why he was in such a big rush to leave.
Where do you think he resides mostly? In Carlsbad or in Portales?
I mean, he's just staying wherever he could, I guess.
It seems like Thomas is going to be extremely difficult to track down. The cops don't have a description of him, he has a common name, and constantly jumps from place to place without a known address.
I was
If
gonna
this
say,
guy
that's the
had
name a
gone
lot of
on
people
the
got.
run, it could be weeks before they managed to find him. But that's when everything changed. Sabrina briefly woke up and found the strength to confirm that it was indeed Thomas that had done all this to her, and she managed to give police the address of the ranch her father mentioned. All before taking her final breath and dying moments later.
I'm in silence. There we go. Imagine he just died and didn't say nothing. She didn't say nothing. He probably would have got away. Probably not. But it would have been a lot harder for him to put that on him when she just died. A lot harder.
Sabrina had just solved her own murder.
Damn.
Immediately, the cops head to the address heavily armed,
That's fucked
knowing
up.
that they might come face to face with an aggressive killer. However, there is one problem. Police haven't had time to get a search warrant, meaning that they have no right to enter the home without permission. That means they're stuck outside, knowing that just feet away, a brutal murderer could be hiding.
They don't leave to get the search warrant so he can't escape. Yeah, they gotta do. Don't leave. They posted up outside. What are you talking about?
Ian, is that you? Ian, come to the front door for me. Hold on a second. Who is it? It's the sheriff's office.
Let me see your hands. Come outside. Let me see your hands.
Bitch.
Let me see your hands.
Yeah, me fucked up.
Is the dog okay?
Let me see your hands at my house. Y'all don't have a search warrant. You telling me to come outside. Let me see your hands. I'm not coming outside. I don't have to. You have no search warrant. I'm in my home. I did nothing. I'm not coming outside. I did something or not. If I did something or not, I'm not coming outside. I got rifles and shit. I don't give a fuck if I did something or not. If police pull up to my home, they have no search warrant. They telling me to come outside. I'm not going outside. I'm not doing it.
Hey, Rice, I got contact.
I don't have nothing.
Okay,
I'm not
sit
going
tight
outside.
right here, man.
Okay, yes, sir. Sorry.
You little
This
bitch.
is Ian, part owner of this ranch and
You little
good
bitch.
friend of Thomas Lopez. Sabrina had told cops about him and said that he could be vital to tracking Thomas down. At this point, the cops have no idea how
Oh, she
much he
snitches
knows,
and shit.
but
Well,
they
shit,
do know
fuck
that
it.
his house is supposedly
Dig her
where
ass
Sabrina
beat.
was attacked. For all they know, he could have been involved as well, so they have to be extremely cautious when dealing with him and clearing out the house.
Who's all here, man?
My father, my friend, Bugsy.
What's Bugsy's real name?
I don't know.
Come on outside. Keep your hands where I can see him.
Bugsy, that nigga Thomas.
What's going on here? Thomas Lopez staying out here? Or has he been out here?
Been out here a few times.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anybody else inside? You said Bugsy. If I can go with you at the door, can you call her outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me go get her.
Yeah, well, just call her from the door, please.
Bugsy is another one of Ian's friends that happened to be staying at the property around this time. She couldn't have anything
Oh,
to
it's a
do with the
woman.
crime,
Okay.
but cops are still pleased to hear that there might be another witness,
Okay, it's a
and
woman.
someone that could help them track their suspect down.
So what we're doing is we're asking everybody to come out of the house. We're fixing to do a search warrant on the house. And supposedly there was an incident a couple of nights ago where somebody got beat up out here. And so now we're securing the house to do a search
Dad look at him like, what? Y'all beating me niggas up?
warrant for evidence. Okay.
Dad
See
really.
how Perry keeps looking over to Ian. It's almost like he knows something is wrong, because this isn't the first time that Ian's brought criminals over to this house, something police would later bring up. With that said, Perry obviously doesn't want to give his own son up to the police, so he decides to stay quiet.
We're good. We're out here with Ian Whalen and his dad, so there's nobody else in the trailer, so both are just chilling out here for right now. We're working for Temple.
Notice how Ian doesn't say a word. That's because he, just hours earlier, helped Thomas crawl into the vents inside his house to hide him from the cops.
Damn.
However, his father has absolutely no idea.
Yeah, we're good. We're good for the next few minutes out here. Just
your warrant?
That'll work. Thank you.
Well, we don't have it right now. We're getting it. Like I said, we just came here.
Okay, well then we don't have to
Hold
do
on.
anything you say.
We're securing the house.
You don't actually have a warrant.
No, I do not have a warrant.
Okay, Ian.
Hold on.
can't do
Hold on.
anything.
Come here.
If-
Come here.
I'm
Let me
exercising my right.
Ian, come.
It don't have a warrant.
Okay.
Would you mind if I walked inside with you? Just
They being a bitch. He said, I'm exercising my rights. He know they don't have a warrant. He know they can't stop him from doing nothing. He just scared. He let him, like, he could have went inside the house. What did he want to do? He just being a bitch. He got scared. What they said, Ian. He heard that authority in that voice. He said, okay, daddy. Okay, daddy. Okay. Let me stop. That man is a bitch. Like, bitch. Ain't sit his ass yet. He's already motherfucking shivering
so we can make
timbers.
sure
Dead
there's nobody
hubby.
else
See,
inside.
he know who did that bitch.
Okay, I will go with you.
They said
Like I
it.
I'm not looking for anything except for just make sure there's nobody inside.
They're still not 100% sure that the house is empty. Ian mentioned someone called Bugsy, but wasn't sure if they were still around or not. So the officer prepares
don't
to
know
head
if somebody's
inside
still in
and
your
clear
house
the
or not.
scene with Ian.
House that big. Well, they do got a ranch. Ranch house. Mad land.
You might have to flip on some lights.
Yeah, go for it, man. It'd make it easier for both of us. And you don't have anybody staying with you currently?
No.
If your friends ever do some dumb shit, like, I need to give you a real life lesson. Like, it was not your day one mans. The mans you grew up with. They do some dumb shit, like probably murder somebody. They want you to hide them from the police, so don't do it. And especially if you're not like that. He obviously not like that. If you like that, you're not this nervous in front of police. He obviously not like that. If you're not like that, your friend do some dumb shit, he wants you to hide something or hide him. Don't do that shit, bro. Because you go to jail with him try to hide something. If you're not like that, you're going to get caught trying to hide him. And then you'll go, just don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it at all. Everybody saying L bands. I got my mama, my sister, kids. I got people I gotta take care of. I'm not finna go to jail for some stupid shit you did. It's not snitching. I'm just not finna help you. You feel me? I'm not finna go in there and tell them you did it. I'm not finna have you at my place jeopardizing my freedom. See, that's different. That's not snitching. Snitching. Oh, he did this. That's snitching. That's not snitching, chat. Nigga call me a snitch. That's not snitching. That's just being smart. Like, what the fuck? Somebody tell me how that's snitching. Okay.
I just want to make sure, not somebody waiting behind me.
Okay. Somebody try to hear me.
Okay. Do you mind if I walk, make sure there's nobody on the side?
Go ahead, man.
Okay. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Okay.
They don't have a warrant, but
Do
you let
mind
them
if I
search
walk in
your ass.
here?
Go ahead.
Like I said, I'm not worried.
Go ahead, dude.
I'm not looking for anything. Just make sure nobody's in here. Sure. Yeah, it happens, man. Do you mind if I take a look inside?
That's a growth tit. He grow that Zai 80.
Okay, thank you.
Is that a growth tit? They grow that Zai. Where they at? That legal? Where they at? I think you want to grow that Zai too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna try. I gotta start growing that Zai.
Across the speed stone.
I don't know if it's legal. Give me a show. Alexa, is it legal to grow weed in California?
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Right on.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have just friends stay from time to time, or you have?
Yeah, every once in a while, you know.
Hey. Hey.
Sorry, my bad. Hey, I'm right here.
Okay, come back here.
What?
You under the covers. Let me see
Oh.
your hands.
What's up?
There's somebody under the blanket there. You under the covers. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands.
It's not a guy.
They see.
You see, it's not a guy.
Okay.
Alright.
Mind coming with us, ma'am?
You're looking.
He must got a warrant or something. If you ain't do nothing, why won't you go out? If you just stand there with a friend, the police come, you ain't do nothing. Why would you try to hide? And that high spot of all places, under the. That makes shit look even more suspect.
Okay. No, she's fine.
Look for a dude.
We're not looking for her, but we do, ma'am, need to ask that you come outside with us.
Probably got a warrant or something.
Clearly, Bugsy isn't the person they're looking for, but she would turn out to be extremely useful to the case down the line. She's been staying at the house recently, so the cops keep her around thinking she might have seen something Ian didn't. The officer then clears the rest of the house and finds it to be totally empty. In the meantime, the officer outside catches
Ian
Perry
been
up on
clapping
everything
that. Oh God, Ian been hitting that.
that's been going on at the house lately and what they plan to do in the search.
Bro, y'all been hitting that. Shit, somebody been hitting that.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh
Thomas
God,
is
somebody been
having
hitting that
some pretty
motherfucker.
Heavy at this point, so.
Yeah, but what I've seen of it, I don't care for the dude.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, let me check and make sure the volume and shit. Right, make sure y'all can hear me. Make sure, yeah, of that nature. I'm gonna mute myself real quick though.
Between me and you, I'm here trying to make shit right, and I apologize for my son. You know what?
No, it happens. What's up? Okay.
Not a dude.
Okay. That's obviously not the guy we're looking for. So.
Mr. Whalen?
Yes.
So they're fine where they are right now, but what it's sounding like is the investigators are wanting to do the entire property covered in the search warrant. So
What does that mean?
well, meaning the car's gonna have to stay here.
Okay.
They're okay in there for now, but they are asking.
The entire property.
Yes,
Y'all
sir.
want to go through the barns?
Yes, sir. That's what it's sounding
We
like.
could probably go do that right now. The
Well,
well house is locked up and the barn's unlocked.
okay.
But I could take y'all on a tour. If you want me to.
Yeah, we're gonna wait for them to get the paperwork done, just so that I don't think. I'll be honest with you, I don't think Thomas is hiding in the shop or something like that. But on the off chance that he is, I don't want him to have the ability to talk to a lawyer and say, "Well, they illegally searched the barn." Even if we have permission at this point, we're just gonna kind of stand by and do it by the books for the paperwork. Okay.
The thing is, Officer Rice was wrong. Thinking that Thomas wasn't hiding on the property. Had he gone looking for him on his own, things could have ended much, much. much worse for him. However, the day is coming to an end, and it's time for the officers to go over everything they've figured out so far. However, they can't risk Ian or Perry overhearing any of this. See if you can figure out why that might be, and we'll reveal it after this clip.
She's been living here? Probably. Did you ask her? No, I haven't asked her directly. I would ask her. Because if she has been living here, she might have witnessed this. Sorry, I don't mean to be on edge, but...
Got myself muted. It's because they think the girl beating the bitch up down. Like, they think the girl seen the nigga beating the bitch up. They think the girl know where the nigga at. And they don't want them knowing that they thinking that, so they talk to the girl and tell her to shut up.
You know, yeah, especially after, yeah. But, I guess the way to look at it, she died from that whole situation. Like those beatings.
I think the girl in the same predicament. They doing the same shit to that.
I see. I'm guessing there was some internal injuries. Okay. So it wasn't like we tracked her down and the way it seemed. Okay.
The officers are clearly trying as hard as they can to conceal the exact details of the case from Ian and Perry.
Alexa, when the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl?
The Cowboys last won the Super Bowl on January 28, 1996. The Cowboys defeated the Steelers 27-17 at Sun Devil Stadium, Frank Cushfield in Tempe, Arizona.
That's because detectives plan to interview them later, so the less information that gets put into their heads, the better. This is usually for two main reasons. If they're guilty of something, this stops them from changing their answers to hide evidence based on what they know. Or, if they're just a witness, it stops them from giving answers based on what they heard from the cops, rather than what they actually saw, protecting their credibility in court. It should be made clear that this isn't the first time that cops have been dispatched to Ian's house. And in fact, multiple criminals had been arrested here before, though never Ian himself. He just seems to hang around with the wrong people.
Let me tell Ian. Okay. Hey, listen, they're expanding the search to the whole property. We cannot take the car.
Okay. What? So the thing is with it, Ian, is you guys, physically yourselves, are not being detained, okay? Any other than, I guess, today, any other issues going on?
No.
Nothing? Okay. That's good, I guess.
Fortunately, no.
Yeah. Got a nice place out here. I'd be more selective about who comes out. Yes, dude, honestly, when I lived out in the county, if I had friends over and they brought somebody I didn't know, I would straight up tell them back, guys, I'm cool with all y'all. So, but him, I don't know him. And if I don't know him, he doesn't need to be here.
If you haven't noticed, the longer this goes on for, the more uncomfortable Ian seems to get. And as that continues, the cops start to get more suspicious too. After having multiple criminals caught and arrested on his property, you'd think he'd start to be more careful about who comes over. That's what made the cops suspicious here. If he's been hanging around so many criminals, he might feel obligated to cover up for them. That's the main thing on the officer's mind when he decides to bring Ian to the interview room, but they actually decide to wait before questioning him. They have a fairly large number of witnesses for the case.
It's my mom. I'm Raven Nation to die. This only small blanket I got. My friend and my blanket was on the bed. That bitch big could be drooping all over the floor and shit. I'm from Cozy. Shut up.
I want to get as much information from the others first before talking to the riskiest of the group. Ideally, they'll get information that could help catch Ian in a lie and force him into telling the truth. So they start by questioning his father, Perry, the owner of the property.
Too many people coming and going. I'm getting sick of this shit.
So you were in your room. They had been there a couple of days. You heard her getting slapped. You knew she was getting slapped by the way she was sounding. There a couple of days. You heard her getting slapped. You knew she was getting slapped by the way she was sounding. You peeked out. Ian was telling her, hey, y'all need to calm and quit this shit, or whatever he said. The girl outside, this Elizabeth chick, and some other guy gave the girl that was being slapped after she said, y'all need to help me.
But that, apparently, this is two different women. See, I thought the girl that got beat up was not this girl. Yeah, I don't know. I'll stay back in my room.
But you saw
they beat multiple bitches. Oh, hell no.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was her. She was already in Carlsbad, right? Is it time for
She just barely got in Carlsbad, probably Friday.
It It seems that Perry absolutely heard Thomas attacking at least one woman, but wasn't able to confirm who it was. He backs up Ian's propensity to let anyone and everyone over to the house and tells the cops that it was bound to end up badly eventually. If Perry can identify the girl that he saw Thomas hitting, though, it could be a massive help for the cops, as it would mean all the evidence lines up and they can begin their search for him immediately.
Suppose we just got you got the faces mixed up? Because you don't seem sure, but you know what women.
I thought there's two.
There is. Thomas did beat up another girl that he has warrants out for his arrest now too. That's why he's running.
Does he beat up every woman he comes in contact with?
Shit, he might.
See, I thought we was talking about another woman. I knew of this chick. The picture he showed me. I knew of her going to the ER. But the chick that I heard through the wall saying, "Y'all gotta help me," was not her.
Perry is saying,
The chick saying that, why not go help her? Are you too scared to confront another man? Why not call the police? This is my house. I don't know this nigga. My son brought him over. And then I hear in my house a woman getting hit saying, "Y'all gotta help me." I'm helping that woman. It's not because, oh, I love women or this. This is my house. Anything I go down in my house, I consider it my fault. You feel me? And I'm not for take, like, this bitch could possibly got beat up and died from being beat in his house. That will fuck me up for the rest of my, no, I can't not know.
Saying that he had heard Thomas beating a girl up, but that it was a completely different girl to the one that they were looking for. So now, there was even more reason to catch him as soon as possible,
abuser.
as it seems like this wasn't an isolated incident at all.
Serial
Maybe I'm
abuser.
confused. Because, okay, once she went to the ER, she
Oh
never
my
went back to the
God.
house, right? Okay. I'm thinking of another chick. Does that make sense?
No, but we'll figure it out.
I'm sorry, man.
That's all right.
This whole thing is just confusing for me.
He trying to play the
I
detective
think
right
we
now.
more
Does that make
involved than
sense? he trying to play the detective. Does that make sense? He think he did, homies. He think he's solving the world's biggest damn. Yeah.
With who comes and goes, but, you know, he thinks he's a grown-ass man now. And
He
he's
not.
going to have to start putting his foot down about who stays at the house. Plain and simple. Well, we need to get this fucker, man.
Perry unfortunately didn't have much else to add, so now they turn their attention to Bugsy, their surprise witness who might just have the answers they're looking for.
Okay, because you might have seen or heard something that happened out there at Ian's house a couple of days ago.
Honestly, I just got there today to do some laundry, so I have.
Well, Ian says you were out there a couple of days ago whenever this incident happened. Okay.
Okay.
Do you know Thomas, the guy that's always out there with Ian and all them guys?
Yeah, isn't Ian
I've
talking
seen
so
him
much?
A few times out there, yeah. I mean, even if I was there, I didn't see none of that.
Did you hear any of it?
I didn't.
At first glance, it seems like Bugsy might not be as much help as they anticipated. But things can change quite quickly when a witness is told just how serious the situation is. That's why the officer decides to let her in on what happened to Sabrina and see if that jogs her memory at all.
The reason we're here is because there's a girl that was with Thomas. Today, she started having complications from what Thomas and Sabrina had an altercation over.
Okay.
Oh my God.
She is now deceased.
Unfortunately for the cops, this didn't change the fact that Bugsy hadn't seen anything at the house. However, she was able to give them one piece of information that could end up proving infinitely more useful than what they were hoping for initially. She gave them the address of another house Thomas was known to stay at. Inside that house is actually another one of Thomas's victims, and the police are about to discover that he's actually a serial domestic abuser.
He was beating 3 bitches. Three bitches. What the? That is crazy. Crazy as. Yeah, I get better. Y'all is fuck. Oop. As. Is it not on the charger?
This is crucial to build a strong case against Thomas.
Good, and yourself?
Pretty good.
Alright.
Yeah, we're looking for Thomas.
He's not here. My friend Monique, that's her boyfriend.
Okay.
Is it not on the charger? Okay, hold on, check. You switching to the wireless shit charge. One second, chat. Yeah, emotionally beating through. Like, I ain't saying that's a good thing to do. Don't be no woman. But to have 3 bitches to want to stay with you while you beating them. I mean, these are 3 bitches like you're like damn near full blown relationships. I can't do that with 3 bitches. I can't commit to 3 bitches like that. Cause no, it's like bitch after you hit her, she go probably dip. You don't probably see her that often. But these bitches you see a lot that really love you. Cause a bitch only gonna let you beat her if she really love you. That's crazy. Bitches that I just like you hit them, they calling their brother beat your ass. Hell,
I'm stay here because she's.
Is Monique not here either?
No, she went to Clovis.
Okay.
And I'm just watching.
Do you know where Thomas is?
He's not supposed to be
We just
here.
really need to talk to him.
He's not supposed to be here. We changed the locks for her.
Changed the locks for her.
She's really scared of him. So.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, we changed the locks for her.
Okay.
She doesn't have a phone here.
Was she battered a while back?
Yes.
Is that what that... Do you mind if we just make sure he's not in the house?
That's fine.
Jamel.
What's that? I'm her friend.
But nobody else is in this house?
Yeah. The only thing is that she called me, said she was scared of me. My boyfriend changed out the locks for her. He took her phone.
Oh, he took her phone?
Yeah.
When you're saying her, who are you talking about?
Money. She hasn't been here all day. I came to stay here for her.
But she still lives here?
Yes.
She hasn't had contact with him that you would know of? She pretty much wanted nothing to do with him? How long ago was their incident that happened?
That was yesterday. But she called me and told me to come change out her locks because she's scared of me.
It turns out this is the home of the other girl that Thomas had reportedly been beating, which, if anything, is worrying the cops even more. Since we know he's not limiting his violence to one girl, it would make sense if he's hiding out here waiting for this girl to come back home. The homeowner, however, is telling the cops that he's not here and she's not seen him for days.
Is she working or where is she at?
She just got a rehab. And so she went to Clovis with her daughter.
Oh, I mean, I guess that's what it means.
So it was about 7:30 yesterday.
Does he have any friends over here that we know of? That he hangs out with? Family?
Of him because she's my friend. But I know she don't have nobody to terrorize her.
Do you think he still has her phone?
Oh, he does.
Get that number.
He does have her phone.
The officers continued to search every room in the house as well as the attic, but weren't able to find him anywhere. According to everyone they talked to, Tom was the attic.
They fucking love the fuck out of Jesus. Alright, they shit hot and they trying to scare some shit off. Damn, look how many I ain't never seen it in America. In this house is Jesus. It is America, nigga. Jesus, America. Fuck are you talking about?
But weren't able to find him anywhere.
Damn, Jesus, America. No diversity. Flags, crosses. Flags, crosses. Jesus, America.
According to everyone they talked to, Thomas had gone off the grid and was nowhere to be seen. But there was still one person they hadn't talked to. The one person that they knew was acting strange from the very beginning. Ian Whalen. If anyone was going to know where he was, it was going to be Ian. So later that night, they brought him into the interrogation room for hopefully the last interview that they need in this case.
Their cameras are down, so I'm using this thing, okay? I'll explain to you why we're here talking. You're not in any kind of trouble, okay? You're not in any trouble. You have any idea why you might be down here?
Well, yes.
About what?
Because of the fight or whatever, I guess, that Thomas had. Right?
You know anything else about it?
No.
Remember, Ian hasn't been told any details of what actually happened yet. He doesn't know that Thomas killed Sabrina, or even that there was a physical exchange. But that's all about to change in just a few moments.
Tom, let's talk about Thomas Lopez. When's the last time you seen him?
It's been about like a day or so.
A day or so? What about his girlfriend Sabrina?
About a day or so.
Okay. What happened between Sabrina and Thomas?
I just like heard an altercation. I didn't like see anything. I just heard them screaming at each other enough to where it alarmed me.
Were they me staying at other people? I was doing that shit though.
Inside your house when they did that?
Yeah.
When they were screaming?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was there anything physical going on? They were just screaming? Did you see anything physical? Did you hear anything physical? Did you hear her yelling stop or him stop or anything?
Mm-hmm.
No? So whenever you heard screaming and stuff, where were they at?
Like, I guess it would be like down towards the kitchen area. I don't know, I heard them yelling and whatnot, and I went out there and I was like, hey man, are y'all okay? And they're just like, yeah man, fine, you know.
And what did she say?
Nothing.
It's clear Ian was around when the fight happened, but it seems like he didn't realize how bad things had actually gotten. Apparently, Sabrina was actually crying when he went to talk to them, but he just figured it wasn't his business and went back to sleep in his room.
Do you know what the fight was about?
I don't. And honestly, I've got so much stuff of my own crap. Like,
okay, when's the last time you heard from Sabrina?
I don't know Sabrina. Like, I'm not making this up. Like,
But she was, that's Thomas's girlfriend or whoever.
I don't even know that. Like, I just know that there was an altercation between. I don't even know if this Sabrina is, if this is who, like...
Messed up teeth?
I'm assuming that's who it was.
So that day that whenever we went out there, was it the same chick?
As the officer mentioned earlier, Ian has a habit of letting people that he barely knows stay at his house. But it turns out this is a recipe for disaster. Since people know he likely won't get involved in their business, they see this property as an area out in the middle of nowhere where they can do whatever they want with no eyes on them at all. Initially, this only resulted in smaller crimes, robbery or drug possession. But this time, it turned into something much more serious. And Ian is now about to find out exactly what happened.
Do you know why I'm here?
No.
Remember I told you last time we don't come over here for simple stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember you told me that. So what's up?
She's dead.
You're f***ing me. What happened? Do you know?
Well, from what she told us before she died was that she was getting her ass beat by Thomas over at your house.
Damn.
In the barn with the golf club.
Died?
Mm-hmm. And so whenever you heard him arguing, when he just said he was getting pretty rough with her, what did you see him do?
Like just slapping her.
Slapping her? Well, I'm just trying to figure out what happened. And first of all,
I'm telling you,
if he was in your house, you didn't even know, so we can get him.
From the very beginning, cops figured he knew a little more than he was letting on. Now he knows exactly what happened, how serious it was, and what the consequences will be if he doesn't give up everything he knows. Not only will he be implicated in the crime, but if Thomas is on the property and he ends up harming an officer, that will be his fault. The question is that enough for him to turn in his friend?
When's the last time you seen Thomas? When even?
Okay.
Is he at your house?
I don't know.
Where does he hide in your house whenever the cops are trying to get him? Where would he go hide inside? We're over there. Okay, the house is secure. We're gonna search warrant for it. Where would he be hiding? If he's in your house, where would he be at? You don't want that problem at your house.
No. Like, I didn't know.
Have you seen Thomas?
Dead.
Have you seen Thomas today? Tell me the truth, man.
Yeah, I mean...
Where was he at when you seen him?
In the house.
Okay. Was he there when the cops got there just a while ago? Ian.
Can we take the... Oh, just... Can we take that?
This is Ian's ultimatum. Ian had been put in a scary position. He knew what the right thing to do was, but he was also terrified of this footage getting out. Amongst the people he hung around, he didn't want to be seen as someone untrustworthy, so he asked for the camera to be turned off and told the detectives the truth. Ian admitted that Thomas was at his house. In fact, he was hiding in the vents. Apparently, that's where he was the whole time. Now the cops knew exactly where he was, but getting to him would be no easy task. To arrest him, they'd have to try everything they could to make contact with him, or else get into the cramped vents with a known killer.
Right. I mean, he knows we're here. Yeah, I assume he knows we're gonna come back. I guess. I don't know.
In the interview, they said he might be in the vent.
Yeah, that's what they're claiming. That's what Ian is claiming, is that he might be.
So if he's in a vent, the only one large enough for an adult that I know of is when you go in, there's a hallway that goes all the way to the back of the house. There'll be a blanket in the hallway right now.
As we go in, still clear all the little areas that we go past. I don't want to get fixated and have him come in behind us.
Yeah, if you hit that vent, the only downside is you'll have 2 rooms to clear in the hallway before the vent. So the last door is literally next to the vent.
We'll figure it out if anybody sees something weird.
Several cops made it to the scene a few minutes earlier and have managed to locate the vents they think he's hiding inside of.
This is the Roosevelt County Sheriff's Office. Come outside.
That's the worst shit. I ain't gonna lie. I had that happen to me twice. They come out. Once it wasn't for me. The other one it was for me. That megaphone outside. You chilling in your house. Like you like. Oh, that's the worst feeling. You just chilling, not thinking nothing. All right, here's sheriff's office. Come outside. Say your name. Like what the fuck? CJ through it. This is the sheriff's department. Come outside. You not good. That shit. I heard that shit. My heart sunk to my ass. Fuck, my first thing, how can I get away? But then I was thinking, I can't get away. It was in the front of the bed. It was at the garage. It was at the front door. Like, damn. I was like, fuck. Getting caught up at home is the worst feeling.
He's not answering.
You always think they know where you stay, but now they know. Like, now you know they know where you stay. Then, so whatever you do, they come back for you. So it's time to move.
Let him know if he doesn't respond. He doesn't come out.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Look around the house.
Roosevelt County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Bachman. Come on out, man, with your hands up. Know you're down there.
So is that the vent you went in, or this?
Yes,
This huge over. They saw it goes down. There's no access back there. Ian had the screen. He puts the vent back on, so he knew he was down there.
The officers are right. The vent cover couldn't have been put in place from the inside, so Ian had to have helped him hide. But they'll figure out what to do.
He going to jail. Accomplice.
Do about that later. For now, they need to figure out a way to get Thomas out of the vents. To start with, locate his exact position, and they came up with a creative solution to do this.
He was right there. How far, approximately?
He's all the way at the far end down there, and then another vent to that.
Just trying to see if there's a mirror.
I got a good point. Just needs duct tape and a little mirror.
There's probably duct tape in the garage.
Take a phone and flashlight. Stick down in there just so we get some really good light and light them up. And just confirm.
It sounds far-fetched, but after pointing a phone and a torch deep into the vents, they were able to confirm precisely where Thomas was.
It looks like
a flash with the phone. Take the phone, turn it on, turn the flash on. Put that in.
you can see the back of his neck, a jacket.
The problem was, he still wasn't responding, and they certainly didn't want to get in the vents with him. So while another group of officers checked the outside to ensure he couldn't escape, the cops tried desperately to reach out to him. But quickly, they started to get concerned about something else entirely.
Thomas, if you can hear me, man, answer. I know you're down there. We saw you in the pictures. Answer me. Just let me know you're okay, man. Are you okay down there?
Somebody be dead down there. What the fuck?
Yeah, no.
If Cud dead down there, bro, that other nigga's going to jail for a double murder. They gonna throw that murder Thomas did on him. It's just he helped him get in the vent and close it. They gonna charge him with that murder. That little nigga, if that nigga is dead down there, oh, bro.
Yeah,
oh,
that's not that door. You would think that he'd shuffle a little bit. I haven't heard him.
Well, it looks like he moved since.
Yeah, but like no noise, nothing. Oh.
Señor López, estoy invitado a la oficina de sheriff. Estoy abajo de arreste. Necesitas levántese ahorita.
Thomas had been down there for hours now, possibly even days. The cops know he's there, but they haven't seen his face or any movement whatsoever. They're fearing the worst, but they still can't risk going down there with him. That's when one of the officers gets a genius idea.
You're going to want to push him back this way because he's going to have to come out this way. Yeah. So if you introduce gas, you want to introduce it on that.
Okay.
If you have a fogger or you have pepper spray,
Yeah.
I would introduce it down.
You're going to do the same thing with the video?
It may make him uncomfortable enough that he'll come out. That's going to make you cough.
Yeah. Turn now, it looks like he's facing us. Hey, his head's up here for sure. Because he went in feet first. Yeah, because you don't want him to crawl, so I would introduce it over there too. Push it in this way.
Yeah. Introduce them that side.
They're planning to shoot pepper spray into both ends of the vents, forcing him out. If he was to stay inside, he'd end up choking and writhing in the pain the gas caused. But it turns out, this plan was so smart and terrifying to Thomas that they wouldn't even have to put this into action.
Hey, come on out, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get pepper sprayed in that motherfucking bit both sides. That's fucked up. No matter how fast you crawl, you go after and endure that shit for a cool second. Yeah,
Dude, come on out. What did I do? Come out and we'll talk.
Kill the bitch.
I'm a little scared, sir. No, there's nothing to be scared about. Come on out.
Yes, I've been beat up by the cops before.
I understand, but nobody's going to hurt you. I just need you to come out slow.
Something to eat?
Yep, we'll get you something to eat. Go. We'll get you some.
Good there. She's going to be 75. Got some dirt in there. You want to take the hood off and shake it off?
The concept of being stuck in the vents with the pepper spray was just too much to Thomas, and with some convincing, they were able to get him out. The ideas and tactics used in this extraction were far from textbook, but they were incredibly smart. Now they just had one more job to do. Interrogate Thomas.
Well, I just can pay for 2 premiums. I got an ad blocker, but
And finally figure out the truth of what happened to Sabrina.
Move all this over here, okay? You speak English or Spanish?
Both.
Okay. You want
preferably English, though.
Preferably English, and we'll stick with English. So listen to me.
We are in America.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Well, what we are here for is what happened with Sabrina the other night. That's what all this is about.
There is an enormous amount of evidence against Thomas. Remember, everyone involved in the case has pointed the finger towards him, including the murder victim herself. But that doesn't mean he's not going to try and defend himself, notably without the presence of a lawyer. The story he chooses to go with, though, isn't the most convincing.
Okay, we talked to Sabrina. Okay, she told us what happened to her. Okay, I need you to be honest with me and tell me the truth. Okay, were y'all guys fighting that night?
It was just an argument, that's all it was. We weren't fighting. We didn't get physical.
How many times did she hit you?
I don't want her to get in trouble, sir.
Okay, how many times did you hit her?
I didn't hit her, sir. We just bumping each other, like, you know what I mean?
Did you shove her down the steps for her to cause those injuries?
I would have showed her. That's my kid's mom, but...
Y'all guys have a kid together?
killed his baby mama. He took both the parents away. Oh, what? That's his baby mama. He killed this baby. Them kids, bro. Them kids. Now I'm looking, this nigga look like him. That's fucked up. He killed his baby moms. Now you going to jail for life. Now they ain't gonna have no parents.
Together?
I don't want to hear her.
So tell me what happened in that bar.
That's when she fell. And Sergey went back there and argued because we didn't want to be arguing in that house. I didn't want to get thrown out because I don't have nowhere to live. But.
Apparently, they went out to the barn because they didn't want to argue in the house, and Sabrina slipped and fell down some steps, causing all of her injuries.
You guys are arguing, okay? And it did get physical, but you didn't want to tell me what happened, right? Is that what you're telling me? It got physical, but you didn't want to tell me what happened?
No, they said we just kind of like just We got in each other's face about it. Like,
Was that the same night you took her to the hospital?
I mean, it was ongoing for like a couple of days.
So you guys were just like basically arguing for 2 days?
Pretty much.
When was the pushing and shoving?
I want to say pushing and shoving. We just kind of
The chest bump and whatever you want. Yeah, when was that?
That's during that night when she fucking fell.
Okay, so you guys do this chest bumping.
Because we don't argue in that house because I don't want to get thrown out of there.
Thomas is also claiming that he didn't hit her or even push her around. The worst they did was get into each other's faces and bumped each other's chests. As I'm sure you're aware, that's not exactly consistent with Sabrina's injuries or what she told the police. But Thomas's story gets even more unbelievable as he continues.
So then you guys go out to the barn. What happens next?
We just sitting there, just smoking a cigarette and stuff. We're up there.
So you guys go up, and are you like upstairs in the barn? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, not long. We start up there, and then she starts coming back down, and she fucking loses her footing, and she goes down the damn steps.
So when was the
pick her up, walk her to the house, and she's like, well, if I can't bear it no more, then I need to take me to the emergency room.
So when was the chest bumping or all of that? Where was that at?
It's kind of the beginning. We got in there, then that's when.
How'd she fall down the stairs?
She lost her footing, I guess. Like, you look at the stairs and there inside that place, there's a big ass gap between each. It's not constructed pretty good. It's like some shit someone just put together. Like,
are we talking from the top all the way to the bottom?
It's like halfway. Maybe towards the bottom, she lost her footing.
Okay.
All kind of junk and stuff that's in that barn.
Yeah.
So, not only did Thomas not have anything to do with her injuries, but when she got hurt, they'd already made up. He believes that this story has explained away why Ian will have heard shouting in the house, why they went out to the barn, and why Sabrina got such horrific injuries. This is why it's so important that detectives keep as much of the evidence as possible secret. He's constructed a story that technically covers up all the evidence that he thinks exists, and while it's not comprehensive, it would definitely make proving his guilt in a courtroom slightly harder. But it doesn't explain a huge number of other things, like how the injuries were sustained by a golf club or the drugs Sabrina said he injected.
You hit your baby moms with a golf club and shot her up?
Her with. Both things he doesn't know the cops know about.
This nigga's the fucking devil. What the fuck? Not only you beat up your baby moms. You hit her with a golf club. You drug her up. Then you took her to the hospital, dropped her off, and hid it in events. And still trying to deny. It's not the only bitch he doing it. This nigga is the fucking devil. He beat the fuck up out his baby mom more than once. All right, let's recap everything. Let's recap everything this man did right here. You gotta show your face, sir. You gotta show your face. All right. He beat up his baby moms. He beat up 2 other women. We don't know them about, but we know for a fact he beat them up. His baby moms, he beat her up. Hit her with a golf club. Drug her up. She ended up dying. So he beat up 3 bitches, killed the bitch, drugged the bitch up, and you feel you have to hit her with a golf club. Okay.
And in fact, he was never able to explain these other things away. There was simply too much evidence for Thomas to deal with, and he chose to plead guilty at his trial.
Fuck, I fucked up. I wasn't hearing the audio the whole time.
Nurses from the hospital told the jury that Thomas had initially told them she'd fallen down the stairs too, but Sabrina immediately refuted this claim when she woke up. She said he'd hit her multiple times with his bare fists, struck her multiple times full force with a golf club, and had her tied up to a chair in the barn for a large amount of time while this all happened. Even worse, she said this had been going on for around a month, and for the entire time, she felt as though she had been held captive. Obviously, there wasn't much Thomas could do against
Yo, baby moms.
this defense, and he was convicted of murder, kidnapping, and resisting an officer. He was sentenced to 18 years behind bars.
All that, only 8. That he deserves life. He took his baby moms away. You killed your baby mom. Hit her. That's the only bitch he doing. He did that for a month. In 18 years, he don't look no more than 30. He'll get out at like 50 something. Still have a full life to live. And that she's gone. She can't see her kids no more. That's fucked up. 18 years is far too little. Far too little. Man, what? That's what I'm saying. And the pops in the beginning knew. The pops said the nigga took her away at knife point. At knife point. And the dad didn't care. Dad didn't call the police. And like, hey, what the fuck? You in for holding a knife to my daughter? What the fuck? You bust a cap in. Damn. That's a fuck. She ain't have nobody on her side that gave a fuck. Other nigga seen her gonna be hurted. Didn't give a fuck. And it been going on for a month. So he seen a lot more than he let it on. Didn't give a fuck. Her dad seen her get take away at knife point. He didn't give a fuck. Nobody gave a fuck until she was dead. Damn. Oh. I wanna see this.
What is he doing?
Oh, I'm messy. Family secretly films killer, then captures something shocking. Family secretly films killer, then catching something shocking. I didn't get a good intro. YouTube, what's up, YouTube? Watching this on live right now. Make sure you subscribe and catch me while I'm live on this motherfucker. And you catch me while I react to this motherfucking live. We watching Family secretly films killer, then capture something shocking. Let's see what they talking about. Let's get right.
What is he doing? What is he taking out?
He's taking off. He has gloves. He has gloves. He has gloves in his hands.
He has gloves. Gloves and what else?
The blanket.
Oh my god, that is my blanket.
Oh my god, call him, please.
When 19-year-old Mia Marcano goes missing, it isn't the police who uncover the biggest clue.
I'm pretty. It
It's about
I'm 20, she 19. Suck my dick. She pretty. I hit that.
what happened to her, but her family.
I'm sorry, that's disrespectful.
In fact, it was through their own investigation that they would not only uncover a suspect, but it was Mia's family who, through their own determination, eventually caught the culprit on camera. In 2021, 19-year-old Mia had just started her second year at Valencia College, where she was pursuing an associate in arts degree. She was balancing her education and employment at the Arden Villas Apartments in Orlando, some 200 miles away from her close-knit family in Broward County, Florida. She also lived at the same apartments where she worked. Though they didn't know to be concerned at the time, Mia had recently asked several of her family members if they could come to Orlando for the weekend to see her. When no one could, she instead decided to fly home to Fort Lauderdale for a visit. Though her family was excited to have her back home, there was a chilling reason Mia felt like she needed to get away. Not knowing what was about to unfold, her aunt Simone later recalled this.
I felt like she was a call for help when she asked us all to come this weekend and no one couldn't make it. I feel like it was a call for help and I wasn't there for her.
At 5:06 p.m. Friday, September 24th, 2021, Mia sent a text to say she was waiting for the Uber to take her to the airport before she would fly home.
Hey man, I won't hate that little shit. You got some dirty ass feet. I mean, that Candace from wearing these a lot. You could have socks on. You like some clean little shit, but she got Michael Kors. Let's see what else. Oh fuck no, she got 2 phones. How old is this shit? 5 months ago? They say a date? Oh, that's
After this, she suddenly stopped responding. All calls to her phone went straight
when these iPhones was popping, so I give it
to voicemail, and all text messages said that they weren't delivered. Given that Mia was incredibly close with her family and kept in near constant contact with most of them, They likely noticed something was wrong within mere moments of it happening. However, it wasn't until a few hours later that her family became certain something was amiss. Her grandmother and grandfather later spoke to a police officer and tried to explain her sense of urgency at the time.
I would say about 6 or 6:15. My husband and I left our husband to go out to dinner. I said, strangely, your husband called me. I called. And the phone just said, calling mobile phone. So I figured it was in the area we were in, it was down. So I called again. Same thing. My stomach started to hurt me. I'm not psychic, but I can always tell when something is wrong. Because I wouldn't call Mia more than twice, and she'd not answer. Even if she has to say, Mama, I'm doing something. Mama, can I call you right back? So I went to the airport. And I waited and waited and waited, and there was no Mia.
When Mia never got off the plane, it confirmed her family's worst fears. Little did they know things were only going to get more twisted from here. They reported her missing soon after, and one of her family members called 911.
I'm calling to find out if I can have a wellness check, please. For the address. Correct? I just wanted to know if an Uber picked her up or not. And then from then, her phone has been completely shut off or dead. We're not sure. We had,
My family would have just motherfucking thought I was doing something and handed another, probably took them 5 days to do some
my friends go over, but they're knocking the door, nobody's answering. I just want to make sure that she's...
That's my fault, though. I'm trying to, that's really my fault. Instead of myself, I don't really communicate with them. I need to start communicating with people more, opening up to people more. Oh, God.
Not there.
Okay, I mean, I can get a call center for a deputy to go out there, but a deputy is going to do the same thing. He's going to knock on the door, and if no one answers the door, he can't break down the door.
This call and lackluster response from police would set the tone for the investigation. An officer eventually did go to Mia's apartment at Arden Villas, but there was no answer when they knocked on Mia's bedroom door. When they tried to open the door, they found it locked from the inside. They then headed to the window from outside. Please note that the police department made redactions to the video, blacking out what the officer saw inside Mia's room. When they went around the front of the apartment, the officer was met by Mia's cousin Kaylee, who, after realizing that Mia's location was turned off on her phone, decided to take
She got some W-ass fucking family members, bro. Ice. Bro. Fucking W. Think it's all the way to another state or whatever the fuck they have called, have police come do a wellness check. Her cousin realized her location off. What the fuck? Pulled up. The same time the cops got there. It's like, pull W ass fucking W.
matters into her own hands and start looking for her.
No, she's definitely not in there. But
She's not in there?
no.
Did you see like any you couldn't see inside?
Yeah, no, I saw inside.
Did you see like any bags?
I saw 2 suitcases under her.
Oh,
bed.
under her bed?
Yeah,
Oh. I'm
not sure if that's.
I think that was always there.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that.
Did you see like a teddy bear on the bed?
I can't remember now.
You want to go?
Yeah,
she
it was.
brings it. If she was fine, she would bring
Really?
the teddy bear.
Yeah, the room it looked clean.
Teddy bear.
Anything look out of place?
The window, yeah. You opened the window. Yeah, you can see that window is open. Yeah, like she opened it.
Ultimately, the officer left. Law enforcement would fail to recognize the urgency of Mia's case until later, perhaps only when it was already too late. With this less than helpful response from police, Mia's cousin Kaylee looked elsewhere for help.
And the security guard, Jay, was here. And we approached him, asked him if he knew anything. And he said yes, that he was here when the police were there. And we said, okay, like if you could please just accompany us so you could tell us about what happened when they were there.
Because they knew Mia's door was locked, Kaylee and Jay headed to the window that the officer had looked through.
Once we heard that the window was unlocked, we automatically knew that that was off because my cousin had installed the window locks on all of their windows. to prevent anyone from opening it from the outside, especially with them being on the first floor.
Right.
When we went up to the back, he showed us the window, and we, of course, tried to avoid touching anything because we didn't want to interfere with anything. He did mention that he saw fingerprints and that he took some himself with some tape, because when he asked the police officers to take some that were there earlier, they said that they were not going to.
You mother. I took fingerprints off the window. I have to miss cousin in 2 days. He said, fuck it. Police not doing shit. I'm the detective, nigga. Cole went there with tape and took his own fucking finger. Oh my God.
Because it wasn't that type of case, I guess.
Later, the security guard would allege that when he tried to hand over the fingerprints, the deputy actually laughed and said,
W security guard. I told the What the that?
This isn't a high priority case. However, this allegation has never been proven. Jay's immediate frustration for how the scene and Mia's case was handled was palpable.
And now I'm getting mad because one of y'all deputies came out here, did not do the job that he was supposed to do. Me being a security guard, I should not have had to do the stuff that I did to have an officer come out here and look me in my face and tell me to keep the evidence that was lifted off of the windowsill. Oh, a couple weeks from now, maybe we'll need it. No, you're supposed to take that now.
As strange as it was that the locks had been removed from Mia's window, it was even stranger that through the window, Kaylee could see that Mia's bedroom door had actually been barricaded from the inside by a small bookcase. Then she noticed something else that would later become integral.
While we were back there, I was looking at the parking lot, the woody area behind with the fence. We were like, why is there a chair behind the fence? He said, oh, that's been there for a long time. And I was like, it's kind of weird, though, because the placement of it looks directly into their windows. It's kind of at a slight angle. So that was a little bit concerning. But he was like, no, that chair's been there for a long time. So I was like, okay, no problem. While we were back there, he mentioned another thing that was odd to him was that most people in the guest parking lot don't park, like parallel park in this one corner, which made sense to me because there are parking spots that go straight there. So if you're parallel parked back there, they can't get out. So he said what was weird to him is that there was a large tire track.
This all seemed to hint that some awful fate had befallen Mia. But what exactly remained to be seen?
Into the apartment, we all put on gloves and again asked Jay to come with us just to, I guess with the name security, he made us feel more secure having him there. We went into her room, avoided touching anything, and we immediately noticed that her room was in a disarray. Very out of character from Mia.
However, even more shocking was the sight of something still in her room.
She has her decorative pillows, her sleeping pillows, and then, of course, the king of the world, her Teddy. So Teddy usually sits right on the bed if he's not going with her wherever it is that she's going. If she's going to work, there's times that Teddy goes to work. Every trip, Teddy goes. Teddy's been on vacation with other people. Teddy has lived his life.
With this in mind, her family knew she wouldn't simply have left the bear behind. And yet Teddy was still in her room. This meant one thing. Mia hadn't left. She wasn't not answering her phone. And her phone wasn't simply dead. She had been taken. But the teddy bear wasn't the most concerning thing discovered in Mia's room, as Kaylee explains.
When we walked in, the cubby that was blocking the door was in the walkway, and there was, her chain was busted. She usually wears 2 chains, one that says her name, and then a second one that has a heart pendant. So I know the chain is the heart pendant one because the pendant was missing. Yeah. And the Mia one would have 2 separate pieces. So we saw that her bangles, she has a lot of bangles and they were given to her as gifts from, like old family friends. So they're really sentimental for her. So to see them on the floor was a lot. To see them bent that way, I was like, okay, there's definitely something wrong here. Then we also noticed the blood on the pillow and we were thinking like, of course you look at it and you're like thinking, well, maybe it could be old. But then we're like, but she would have tried to get that out, or she would have at least put a pillowcase on to cover it up, because you're not going to be sleeping on a naked, bloody pillow. Yeah. So, that was a little bit concerning as well. After that, we continued to look around the room and found little bits and pieces, that just kind of indicated that there was some type of struggle. The bed was moved. We could see the grooves in the carpet were different. They were plate.
After this shit, that bitch better go to law school and work.
They were here, and then the legs were
police
pushed
job better than the police.
Off. The bed head was kind of crooked. And then while examining underneath the bed, someone flipped over the rug. She has a blue furry rug and found a box cutter. When we saw that, we were like, okay, that definitely can't be Mia's.
The box cutter would turn out to be an important clue, as would the item they found in the trash, a single rose. Already feeling like Mia's disappearance wasn't receiving the kind of urgent attention they knew it needed, the rest of her family traveled the same day she was reported missing to gather at the Arden Villas apartments to continue the search, knowing that this was the last place she'd been seen. They would soon have a shocking and disturbing interaction. It's unclear exactly what happened in the moments prior, but one of Mia's family members began recording when someone else showed up, claiming to also be looking for Mia. The person recording kept their phone either in their pocket or their hand covered the camera, as we can't yet see what was happening until later. We can, however, hear the mysterious person talking with various members of Mia's family, including her father.
I'm too old for this. It's her friend Tati. Tati knows our relationship, I promise you. Nothing like that. Tati woke me up out of my sleep to come in to see if I saw anything, because we didn't know you guys were here. You're not hearing about this for the first time tonight? Yes, I was home with you.
You still have text messages?
Me and her haven't talked for like a few weeks. Like I told you, I try to fall back. I'm older than her, so I don't even have her number now. All serious.
The man speaking is 27-year-old Armando Manuel Caballero. Armando worked.
You're too old to be fucking with that little girl. You better be 30. You better be 30. She's 19. That's my steal. I'm 20. Feel me? I can fuck with a 19-year-old. You feel me? You're 20. I mean, you're 27. And you look 30. You look 33. You look 38.
Worked as a maintenance man at Arden Villas, and he met Mia when the two became co-workers. In fact, he'd started at Arden Villas right after Mia, around 2 months prior to her disappearance. Now, around 3:45 a.m., approximately 10 hours after Mia was last seen, and though he lived at a different apartment complex, Armando was unexpectedly back at Arden Villas. This obviously struck Mia's family as odd, but the entire interaction would only become more concerning.
Where's her roommate? Because I heard you had a recent conversation with her.
Though it isn't shown in the footage, Simone, Mia's aunt, witnessed something fall out of Armando's pocket when he first got out of his car, something that looked like a key fob. This would turn out to be crucial later.
I was seeking her wall and I dropped off the back end because I was involved. Other than that,
You know you did something. And if you going back to the crime scene for whatever reason, quote unquote, look at this and you know the police there, you know they family, they up there. I bring any sort of evidence with you. I happen on your person. Like that didn't he had that in his jacket pocket. You know, that big ass loose pocket. And like that's not if you got that in your regular pocket, you have on some jeans, that should not falling out, at least have some sweats on. I even I'm defending this nigga. He killed fine shit. But he might have killed fine shit. If he might have killed fine shit, I swear to God I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna kill your shit. So did he?
it's just work. You never went in the apartment to fix anything before I have, yes. We had to do all the apartments. But I noticed a lot of stuff, because I set up the apartment myself. I know. And I set up certain things. I seen you move. Yeah, and I seen you already too. I seen you be trust me, bro. I got all the vibes. I'm not like that. Nah, I wouldn't even came out here. Yeah, but from what I'm hearing, I didn't hear nothing good about you yet. Really? I promise you.
Oh.
What Armando didn't know was that because Mia was so close to her family, they immediately recognized him as someone she'd told them about. And because of what she told them, they were likely suspicious when he showed up at Arden Villas.
Sending her text messages like that, like trying to tell her, express your feelings for her. As a regular thing, when the property was... How is it a regular thing if you just said that you're older than her? Why is it a regular thing if you're expressing your feelings to her? Why is that? How is that a regular thing?
Why'd you cash out for that amount of money?
She said she had to help you. She had to help me? My daughter would never tell you that. On my soul, she told me that. She would never tell you that. On my soul, she said that. But you just told me that you haven't spoken to her for.
You know, don't say your daughter want. Say my daughter gonna do this. My nigga don't know. Genuinely, you never know. Like everybody put on the act front of their parents act completely different. When they not with them, they someone completely different. Yeah, they can still be nice and shit, and you never know. You don't know. Especially when you're talking to a nigga, you don't know.
So yeah, long. Because that was a while ago. That was a while ago?
Was this week.
That was a while ago?
I'm in her Cash App. That was this week.
You see, Mia had complained about Armando, though he told her family he didn't have her number and claimed to have last spoken to Mia a few weeks ago. It would soon be revealed that that wasn't even remotely true. Mia often took screenshots of the things Armando was texting her and sent it either to her family members or to her friends.
Messy.
This included when, in the week before she...
I'm messy. I'm dead. It only been like a week. Y'all, eyeballs. Wait, guys. Oh, that's a motherfucking... That's motherfucking... Alright. Let's see the screenshot. Cash App request. I'll be like, I have to approve. You requested Cash App? Bro, I sent you $600 for blue. Oh, $600. Overly tricking. On a 19-year-old, he like, this little bitch young. She ain't never had a nigga send her this type of money. Overly tricking. But now, I think you gotta be careful. If ladies, my young ladies out there, older nigga like that, sending you this type of money, he don't look like he know big baller, no rapper, nothing. Be careful. That nigga is crazy. He's gonna do some shit. That nigga is a weirdo. That nigga is a weirdo. Don't think, oh, I gotta be a trick. That nigga is a weirdo. Be careful. He trying to lure your ass in and get your ass. Stay always careful.
She went missing. Armando sent her a random Cash App payment for the amount of $600. Though Mia declined the money, she sent a screenshot of the message Armando included with the payment to a group text.
Ladies, if a nigga randomly send you $600, y'all declining that? Let me know. If a nigga, like you, randomly send you $600, you declining. I'm taking that shit.
With other Arden Villas employees, titled Off the Casa. Armando wrote to Mia, Mama's good morning. I don't want you to feel any way about me giving you this. Like I said from before, you grew on me, and I feel I didn't have too much of a reason to be in your face unless I was making a difference, because I'm just a man, and that's how I see it. From hearing you vent about your fam situation and hearing about how you're not able to live your life fully because of the difference in responsibility, and from the first few times I heard that, I've been planning and wanted to bless you. But it's not much, but it's yours. Enjoy it however you like. I don't want it back. Don't send it back. That was money I was putting up from turn to spend on dates or gifts for you. But I'd rather just give you the money so you could do what you actually need or want with it. Her friend responded to the screenshot. It just sucks that he works with you because I would keep it, but if you don't do what he wants, he gonna act crazy.
He work. They work to get. That's okay. Yeah, but he tried to manipulate her. He manipulative in that bitch, and that bitch just smart. She not getting manipulated, and he mad. She ain't getting manipulated. Who try to manipulate that bitch? That bitch ain't get manipulated. He mad. She ain't get manipulated by him manipulated, and he ended up manipulating that bitch.
Mia's friend likely had no idea how true that was. Armando had an interesting explanation for the Cash App payment.
Because her mother didn't pay her rent no more. And when we was doing time, we've been friends already since June. And I know Rashid seen me, her, and Rashid chill. There's nothing there. I never came after hours. I never bothered her.
Look crazy. Look at this nigga. You think that little fine shit gonna want to? She want a nigga like me. She want a nigga like me. She don't want a nigga like you. She want a nigga like me. She want a nigga like me. She don't want a nigga like you. Oh God. Yeah.
Did they take a statement from you earlier on?
I just found out she was missing.
You saw her today?
Just found out, but I found out a few hours ago.
And you saw her today?
At work, yes.
Have you done
At
any
work?
work inside that apartment?
Not recently.
So when?
So who's the maintenance person that was in the apartment yesterday? Or 2 days ago? Somebody was maintenance.
You had to be there recently because you told me that you bought the fan there. So you were there recently.
This is an integral question. As Armando was in maintenance at Arden Villas, he had an assigned key fob, which could access every single apartment, and that worked.
I don't give a fuck about none of that. Soon as I get if I get an apartment anywhere, I'm changing that lock. So I didn't. What the fuck? I don't give a fuck. You the maintenance man? No. Especially they're homies. Especially, I gotta watch out for my nieces. As soon as they get old enough to get their own little apartments, I'm changing name. Locks. Lockety locks. ASAP. The fuck?
Worked during business hours. For after-hours maintenance, an on-call key fob was shared among the maintenance staff, with the device in the possession of whomever was on call at the time. 3 days earlier, on Tuesday, September 21st, Armando had delivered some fans to Mia's apartment, as there'd been flooding. The maintenance request had been legitimate, but the troubling issue of Armando's access to her apartment hadn't escaped Mia's family members.
So you were there recently. Tuesday. So that was
So you were in this apartment on Tuesday,
I didn't
right?
do work. I just dropped the vacuum on. Bro, something ain't adding up, bro. She had a leak from her living room to her room. Coincidentally, like that just happened. You know what I'm saying? That just happened. That leak just all of a sudden just happened just out of the blue. Only in her room and in the thing. That's nothing I can physically do that.
All right, and the person who went in today too went through the window too. You know what I'm saying? All right, but you got access to that place though, right or wrong? Right or wrong?
You have
right or wrong? You have access to it, right?
You have access to the apartments, right? As a maintenance worker, you have access to the apartments. And what is your protocol when you're going into the apartments? You guys just knock and go in?
We knock 2 or 3 times. We wait. Nobody answers. We open the door. We knock again. We stab the door. We wait. Nobody answers. Then enter the apartment.
As police would soon find out, Armando isn't telling the truth here. Mia's family member, who has been recording this strange encounter, finally raises their phone and captures Armando in the footage. He can be seen standing next to an officer.
As of right now, you have sent obsessive texts to Mia. We have all seen the text. You talked about giving her your life savings. You cash out her money, and you claim that you weren't in touch.
Who told her
It's
give her
on
life
text.
savings? I never
As a
said
matter of
that.
fact, we're going to get a police report to pull your phone records if that's the case.
W Moss.
As it would turn out, because Mia had sent so many of the texts from Armando to her friends and family, the police didn't need to pull Armando's phone records to see that something was off.
There's evidence of obsession, of something. You're fascinated with
It's
me.
not only from my side, so don't try to make this.
No one's saying that. It takes
She's not here to defend herself right now, so
obviously
we gotta
she's
talk to
missing.
you.
So we're talking to you, who've been going back and forth
I
on
understand
text.
that. That is your family.
Right.
But until we figure out what's going on, just don't beat me up.
Nobody ain't beating you up.
If I'm guilty,
Well,
why would I
you put
come
yourself in the middle right here. You brought yourself over here.
The entire interaction with Armando out front of Arden Villas was odd, but what Armando said next did nothing but raise suspicions against him.
I've never done nothing bad to me. Where's the... Never done it.
The videos capturing this incident end abruptly after this, but Mia's aunt describes what happened next.
Armando got in his car. The officer never searched the vehicle. I don't know if there's procedure. He never looked in the vehicle or touched anything, told him to wind down with nothing. The vehicle took off. They went to the maintenance room. They came back. Armando then left.
After driving away from the officer and Mia's family members, Armando was seen again driving around the buildings with his lights off. One of Mia's family members noticed something else that was incredibly concerning about Armando.
I noticed
So it almost looked like he had bronzer on because this area was like it was puffed up and slightly bruised, like reddish. But how it was dark in the night when the light, you could see, when skin is stretched to a point that it shines because of the swelling.
Knowing what they did of his fixation with Mia, his return to the Arden Villas apartments the same day that Mia went missing raised red flags for her family.
Alexa, what is bronzer?
Bronzer is a cosmetic product that is used to give the skin a tanned appearance. It is a type of makeup that is applied on top of the skin to enhance the color and create a sun-kissed look. Bronzers can be powders or creams, and they are available in various shades to suit different skin tones. They are commonly
Alexa,
used by women.
That's enough, thank you. But yeah, bronzer.
Very, also very welcome.
That just scared the fuck out of me. What the fuck? Oh my god. Say, hey, sorry to me, you're welcome. Oh my god, I feel so what the fuck? I feel special. But yeah, makeup on is crazy.
Little did they know, Armando was hiding
He had a bruise because she was fighting back.
Another, even more disturbing secret. The next day, there was still no sign of Mia anywhere, and it was only now that the police would begin to take the case seriously, though slowly. Someone from the Harris County Sheriff's Office even reached out to the Orange County Sheriff's Office about Mia's case, and there appeared to be a distinct lack of urgency.
Okay, I mean, it hasn't been turned over to a detective yet because it takes up to 5 business days.
How to consider someone missing?
No, I mean, there is a case number already attached to this, and there is a case. I'm just saying that they don't have it assigned to somebody. But if we make contact with her and we run her name, we know she'll be missing because she's in the system as missing.
So who normally has? So you have a missing persons division?
This is considered a missing person, and they're not open today. They'll be open on Monday.
As investigators finally started to look deeper into the case, they spoke with Marlon, Mia's father.
So my theory as to what happened is that she was in the bathroom, maybe she was now getting home. Either she was in the bathroom or she was now getting home, and the person was under the bed. Okay. The person was under the bed, and so they had the box cutter and everything. Mm-hmm. And either when she came in, they startled her, or when she was coming out of the bathroom. You understand? The person who we suspect is somebody who works here. Mm-hmm. I heard about it. Okay.
Her family also gathered again, this time inside Arden Villas.
Police officers came and they said they weren't going to do anything but file a missing person report. She's an adult. They can't do an Amber Alert because she's over 18. But according to that officer, this is a typical college room that doesn't seem to look obstructed or tampered with. He said they weren't going to do much until a couple days pass and it becomes more.
If you haven't got any information, if you haven't heard from her.
As news of Mia's disappearance spread, calls flooded in as people tried to give any helpful information to
Comes more.
If you haven't got any information, if you haven't heard from her.
As news of Mia's
I know that motherfucker do see. You see by the way that shit jiggle when she opened the
door.
If you haven't got any information, if you haven't heard from her.
As news of Mia's disappearance spread, calls flooded in as people tried to give any helpful information to aid in the search.
And what do you want to report?
We just got a message saying that a girl had been missing since 5 p.m. yesterday, and me and my roommate around, I'd say maybe 7 p.m., and we heard a girl and a guy, and they were screaming, but it didn't sound like good screams. It sounded like really bad screams. And we actually went downstairs to see if we could find anything, and we heard a woman and a man screaming at each other, arguing in an apartment on the first floor. I don't know if this would be helpful information, but it was something that stood out to us last night. And after hearing about a girl going missing today, I figured I should report it just in case it could help.
All of this was helpful, but Mia's family was already sure they had a suspect, Armando. Mia's family had been right. It did appear that Armando was obsessed with Mia. In one screen-recorded video, it can be seen that Armando was sending her long Mia. In one screen-recorded video,
honestly, Mia, there was never any bad intent between either of us. I remember from the beginning how we both were were talking about how we didn't want to talk to nobody, and subconsciously ended up where we was at. I promise I went to school. Okay, you drew back, which I understand because you a woman. He kind of literally because you a woman and you don't know me, and well, so you need your boundaries. I know I come off strong and crazy, but I was literally like fit. I know I come off strong and crazy, but I was literally like feeling you, drift away. It bothered me because a bond so natural like we had is not common. I see I was throwing vibes like I owned you, but it was more so that I could like told you before I wasn't entertaining anybody and like wise towards you, but you in my mind, I was seeing as we don't have to act like we know, like we together, but we got a bond, a friendship. I feel like we shouldn't throw that out the window.
It can be seen that Armando
our friendship reached out the window. Like if me and you had an understanding of each other, whatever happens, happens between us. But I wouldn't mind being there for you if you always just left that door open for me. Like I felt like it would honestly be years before we be mainstream, but between us is like we're working on out that kinks. That's like on them kinks. Yeah. We're real friends. We support each other. It's like we're together and experiencing something wrong, but allowing each other space to grow. And you know,
was sending her long,
weird.
multiple.
All right, I'm older than you, and I've been in different situations. I dealt with older and younger, with kids, with no kids, and I'm 27. I passed that stage of dogging. I don't even know if I hadn't had it. I'm a lover boy. I'm born on Valentine's. Every facade, every facet of our situation. I want to give you great experiences, especially since you're younger. I want you to understand it. Everyone is gonna be with me because you deserve almost ever from anybody. He trying to. Like sweet talking is good, but not this much. Paragraphs on paragraphs on paragraphs, not this much. Chill out.
Messages. Part of these messages say, quote, "You drew back, which I understand because you a woman and you don't know me that well, so you need your boundaries. I know I come off strong and crazy." After screen recording the messages, Mia sent the video to a group chat writing, "When does it stop?" The issue of Armando's text messages would come up again and again as police began interviewing her friends.
And Jazz. That's why she need a nigga like me. Ladies, you talking to a nigga like me, and you got a nigga like that, you want him to really be fucking alone, let me know. I got that pole. I let that bitch blow on my fucking soul. You already know. Your nigga he on go. I never been a hoe. I never run from no one. On my soul, let it blow. 100 round and round. 100 Drake gold. You feel me? You feel me?
Jasmine, can you tell me what happened in a group chat between you, Mia, and the other individual?
Yes. So basically we have a group chat where we talk about like normal things that are happening. But in this chat, there's just been multiple times where Mia like will send over screenshots like we do of like people that we're talking to or just things like that. Sometimes complaining or just having issues with like Armando sending her long text messages out of the blue, emotional messages to her, even when she was barely giving him like real responses back. Sending her long emotional messages, getting upset at her for not responding to him, all types of things. And from the start, her making it clear that although she did find him attractive or whatever the case may be, she has never necessarily wanted anything serious with him. They have never dated. They've never been involved in any aspect like that.
That detail didn't seem to deter Armando. In one text to her friends, Mia wrote, "Then if I don't respond, we know he getting the paragraphs ready."
I always found it weird with that because I'm like, she's young, like she's 19, she's a freshman. I always found him to be weird because I'm like, this girl is like a young girl. She's not trying to be tied down with you, like, you know? And she made that very clear to him. So that's just the thing for me.
Did they ever have any altercations with each other or any kind of
fights?
Yeah.
They never had any fights. He was very much a like messagey type of person. Like I never had any situations in regards to like her telling me like, oh, they got into like actual altercation. She did tell me that recently he tried to like make us not a scene, but like be petty towards her at work. He said it in a way like it was drawing attention because people were kind of like, dang, like, why'd you say it like that towards her or whatever? And she was like, in the chat we were talking about, like, that's crazy that he's trying to like show out and call you a weirdo and stuff when he's the one that sends you long, dramatic text messages every single day.
Mia sent a text to the group chat saying, "Y'all, I'm confused," and a screenshot of a message Armando sent her saying, "I don't got any more patience with you. You honestly showed me the type of person you are. Like you said, people fall for your looks. Well, I seen the type of person you are. I don't got the energy or the fakeness to tolerate giving myself to you even as a friend. We two different kind of people." Armando also texted me a quote, "We two..."
Please leave me out your. Hey, please leave me out your group chat, guys. I don't need nobody indirectly affecting my job. How you know about your group chat? Somebody in the group chat, tell somebody in the group chat. They follow Justin LA out there too. Okay, but somebody in that group chat get messy.
Two different kind of people. Armando also texted me a quote, "Just leave me alone if you don't have no intent to show any significance in my life."
So Tuesday would have been the 21st. So
The
September
21st.
21st was the last. And can you tell me what that message said?
Yes, so we were talking like normal. She said, "I saw Armando just now. He had to bring me the blower and he was like, I think I cleared my mind enough and I'm ready to follow you back on Instagram." Because like I said, he would get overly emotional and obsessive over her. So like if she was posting and doing things and not talking to him, he would get upset and send her messages about that. So then she sent a screenshot after he left of what he said. And he basically said, "Everything else burnt out, but respectfully, I can't lie. I would have loved to taste you or see how it was at least once." And she said, "Y'all help me, what the F?" Like asking what she should say to that. And I was like, what do you say to that when it's coming from a crazy person?
Right.
And she said, "No, for real." I'm like, whoa. And I said, I would be like, "Let's keep it cute, friend," because I don't know what to say. And I basically said that because I was like basically like deflecting from the talk because you guys said like we're just friends.
Armando replied to that text from Mia saying, "Right, whatever, you out-cooled me. I really didn't take no L. Why you trying to be so cool? I get it, it's over. I been knew it was you making it seem like I'm making a mistake. So all the way through, I'ma let it go, just holler at you at work, bucko." But it seemed that Armando didn't take her rejection well. Mia's friend Rashid shared a similar story.
He started sending her, like, not like just like paragraphs. It was, I could swipe and read it. And it was so much to read that I was like, dang, like, I didn't obviously read through all of it, but she would show me like some of the stuff she was saying in some of the paragraphs and, how like, and I was telling her like, he's crazy, whatever. And then he was buying her all this stuff. He was giving her stuff like every week. He got her like these flowers that were in her room, the blue flowers, because I guess he overheard like a conversation that she wanted him or something, or saw on our phone or something.
In another screenshot Mia shared, Armando wrote to her, "And you ain't showed one concern of even giving me the opportunity to gain ground with you. If anything, every time I felt like I got closer to you the next day or the next hour, you acting colder. This ain't the grounds to the beginning of something good. I haven't been nothing but frustrated and confused the majority of the time." Mia wrote back, "Yo, I spoke to yesterday perfectly fine. Then I went out like, damn, why do you always have to act like this? Like, can you just chill?" Armando texted back, "If I have no reason to act like this, then you tell me one situation where you did any gesture to validate me, small or big, to make me feel special. A bagel, a lunch, a real compliment. At least a real statement of what you think about me, because I'm really starting to think you cold-hearted." Armando's obsessive behavior wasn't just over texting, as Rashid explains.
One day I opened up my apartment when Mia was staying there, and he was outside doing something. And I remember because I opened the door to open the door for her, and I was going to lock it behind her, and he was there, and she was like, oh, hey. He was outside my apartment.
Just standing there?
Now, he was working on something, but, like, it just progressively got weirder and weirder, and whatever. After, like, time started passing, and she started seeing, like, who he really was and stuff, she told me, like, she was kind of nervous that he had the keys to her apartment. And one time she mentioned that she left her house one time, the AC was working perfectly. And she came back a little while after, and the AC was broke. She was stuck on 79. And I know, like, the maintenance people, like, I know it's easy to mess with the AC, you feel me? And he was the on-call person. And so I'm thinking that he, like, messed with the AC because she would have to call the emergency line, which he has to respond to because it's after hours. So she said that she didn't want to call him, so she went to get another maintenance guy to come fix the AC.
Mm-hmm.
As Rashid shared, Mia had a good reason to be worried.
Some of my other friends have told me that he said stuff to them, like she found one of my other female friends found him like in their apartment. He's like, "What are you doing in here?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm fixing something." I remember she had said something to her. I think it was like along the lines of, "I just want to like take a nap in your bed" or something like that. Like it's weird. You feel me?
Yeah, that is weird.
After speaking to another resident at Arden Villas, it seemed that there was a pattern in Armando's behavior.
I had just gotten out of the shower too, and I heard knocking and maintenance. I didn't want to answer it because I didn't put in a report. And then I heard the door open and I heard it close. And then when I went out, they were still out there knocking, but I did hear the door open and close. So I got dressed, opened the door, asked him if he needed anything. He said, "Did you put in a report for your dishwasher to be fixed?" I told him no.
Perhaps finally realizing that Armando needed to be investigated, police spoke to his boss, Lemuel Arroyo.
How would you describe Armando?
I would say very, very peaceful guy, very easy to manage. You know, I was very happy with their performance. To keep eye contact, sometimes avoid eye contact. Now all this going on made me think, why sometimes when we're talking, he trying to not look at me? I don't know.
Although he was known at work to be private, Armando had been in a bit of trouble before. Years ago, after setting off firecrackers in his college dorm, he lost his football scholarship as a result. With his job at Arden Villas, he was attempting to start fresh. Friday, the same day that Mia went missing, Lemuel noticed that Armando's body language and behavior was off when he received his work uniform.
But then when he left, he was shaking, even without we knowing all this was about to happen, you know?
And you've never seen that before out of him?
No.
Noel, who worked in maintenance with Armando, also saw Armando acting strange on Friday.
So he was more quiet, you thought?
He was more quiet.
Was that
I asked him, "Yo, you okay?" He said, "Yeah."
You said the change you noticed was that he just seemed more quiet.
With this in mind, investigators take a look at the records of who used the maintenance key fob. While the officer only turns on the audio of her body cam a few seconds before the following footage begins, it appears they're talking about Armando.
My biggest concern is he has right now a fob that can get him access to every apartment because he's on call. Mm-hmm. So I was going to have one of my employees just erase the fob, but the only way to do it is to literally go to each and every apartment door with a cancel key. Mm-hmm. Because unless we have the physical fob, we can't just erase it. You have to go to each individual lock and do what's called an interrogation report, mm-hmm. and then load that to the computer, and it gives you the lock history of everything.
The worker from Arden Villas eventually gets the report on the lock history for Mia's apartment.
This is that. That's my on-call maintenance fob at 4:34.
So that's before, correct?
Yes. But I don't understand why he would have been there.
Is it Armando?
Yeah.
To most, this would seem like particularly damning evidence, but it only got worse. While checking out an apartment that was set up the same as Mia's, though not her actual room, the officer asks a chilling question.
So he accessed her room at 4:30, correct? Mm-hmm. There's no service supposed to be in her room or anything like that, right?
Mm-hmm. And I don't remember if I saw that he left. with that fob. She would have been home. So if he was just hanging out, now I'm like worried. What if he was literally waiting for her? They've got my head all screwed up. I cannot believe.
Because of the record of the key fob, it was clear that 30 minutes before Mia's work shift had ended, Armando had entered her apartment, and it also seemed that he had never left, or at least there was no record of him leaving. Mia's key was then used to open the door at 5:06, and as the worker suspects, it looks like Armando could have been waiting for her. By reviewing the security footage, investigators spotted Armando driving a golf cart near Mia's apartment, which coincided with the times the maintenance key fob showed it was used on her front door. They also uncovered what they believed to be the last image of Mia as she walked to her apartment just before she went missing. While there was the possibility of an innocent explanation, on Thursday, September 23rd, Armando had asked Mia if she would have time to talk about something mysterious on Friday, the day she went missing. Mia had replied, "What do you want to talk about?" Armando wrote back, "It's nothing big, but if your day is busy, it's whatever." Mia replied, "I'll let you know how my day goes." However, there was one other piece of evidence that didn't quite fit. 2 hours after Mia went into her apartment, Armando called the Arden Villa's office staff and asked to be let into the front gate as he was responding to a maintenance call that was made around 7 p.m. Just 5 minutes later, someone used Mia's key fob on the exterior lock of her apartment. It would be nearly impossible for Armando to have been at the gate of Arden Villas and then 5 minutes later unlocking Mia's door. The question was this Mia herself, and was the timeline of her disappearance a few hours later than her family believed? Or was this evidence of her kidnapper using her key fob? While the police may have still been collecting evidence, Mia's distraught family members already felt certain that they knew where to look for answers about Mia's disappearance, with Armando Caballero himself. While continuing their search for Mia, some of her family members decided to begin surveillance of their own, and they would soon uncover some of the most chilling evidence yet.
I happened to overhear Armando's address when he was giving it to the officer. And I said, I'm going to do a pit stop. Put it in the GPS, and we continued to his house. He didn't see us at first. I made a U-turn, and I went into the parking lot across the street from him. Here's his apartment complex. Here's my vehicle facing him. That's when he started touching the indentation of his car. He tried leaving the complex last night with his lights off, and he hit another vehicle. He was touching, so his vehicle is dented.
It became clear to them that the police hadn't searched Armando's apartment yet. It was then that they once again began recording, this time catching something truly shocking on camera.
He has gloves.
He has gloves.
He has gloves
He has
in
gloves.
his hands.
He has gloves.
Gloves and what else?
The blanket.
Oh my God, that is my blanket.
As they watched, Armando carried a blanket that had once belonged to one of Mia's family members and that had since been given to Mia into his apartment.
He knows what we look like, and he's looking to see
He
who's following him and whatever. Where the are the police?
Mia, Kaylee, call them back.
I'm videotaping.
Don't you?
Mm-hmm. I'm videotaping him. That's why I can't call.
As unsettling as this discovery was, the incident with Armando was far from over, and it would only become more chilling. Later, Mia's Aunt Simone shared with detectives what had happened after they stopped filming.
Someone's got
I started trembling. I couldn't drive anymore. I just pulled in. Another Hispanic guy got out of another car, 2 cars down, came across the street. He videotaped the truck. He videotaped me. He took pictures of me. He took pictures of my license plate. Then he told me, get out of your truck. Get out of your truck. I didn't get out. He laughed. Across the street, he went back, and he does this again.
This behavior, along with the discovery of Mia's blanket, seemed to solidify, for her family at least, that Armando was behind Mia's abduction. However, this interaction with Armando would come back to haunt them in the most chilling way. Armando then left his apartment, but returned 10 minutes later. When police were able to find Armando and tell him that they wanted to look inside his apartment, he surprised everyone. He gave permission for Mia's family to search through his apartment while the police stood by.
Is it like a quilt type of
Yeah,
blanket?
like a quilt, like blanket-like thing. So if you see it, just let me know. That'll just give more bolster to the search warrant.
It appears that this frantic search was not recorded, but Mia's family didn't find her blanket. It seemed that when Armando left, he must have disposed of the blanket. Either way, no other evidence was found, as Armando wasn't arrested or even brought in for questioning. In fact, soon after, he ended up leaving his apartment around 3 p.m. Approximately an hour and a half later, he was officially named as a suspect in Mia's disappearance. But to her family's frustration, he was already gone. His apartment was then secured, and at around 6 p.m., more than 24 hours after she was last seen or heard from, the Orange County Sheriff's Office released a missing persons bulletin for Mia. By now, it was becoming clear to at least some that the police knew they hadn't started their investigation as soon as they should have.
Oh, you know, check the report. I guess.
I mean, if they saw the blood and everything, it doesn't take long for.
That was the end of it. Just some miscellaneous papers and stuff. Passport, about 30 euros. Wallets, checkbook. Cards.
It was around this time that calls began flooding into the police department, but not to aid in the search for Mia, but rather because Armando's friends were calling to complain about Mia's family and their investigation.
Yesterday, they pulled up to my house. I don't know if they were following my friend Armando, because my friend Armando, supposedly he was talking to the girl that's missing. I had no idea what was going on. I came to my house, and then some fat bald guy came to my house. He was yelling at my friend, "Oh, you kidnapped my daughter! You kidnapped my daughter!" I'm like, I don't really know what's going on. I literally just came from my girlfriend's house. What's going on? I'm confused. He was, "Oh, my daughter's missing. He kidnapped my daughter." And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. I'm like, I'm so confused. And then they just came to my house. They were at my house and just like arguing. I'm completely lost now.
But even Armando's friends had questioned him about his possible involvement in Mia's disappearance.
Yeah. And I was trying to ask him, like, yo, you sure you didn't do anything? And my mom was on the phone too. I'm like, my mom was like, yo, you sure you didn't do anything? Are you 100% sure? And I was trying to like, make sure, because that's someone's child that's missing. Yeah. I was like, yo, you sure you didn't do anything? He was like, nah, I didn't do anything. And my mom prayed for him on the phone. My mom said, if you didn't do anything, God will protect you. And if you did something, you will reap what you sow.
Along with looking for Mia, law enforcement continued to search for the now missing Armando, based on him using the maintenance key fob to enter Mia's apartment a half hour before she returned home from her shift. The search escalated when an even more disturbing piece of information was revealed. Jessica Decker, a manager at Arden Villas, had found something strange.
Then the other thing that concerned me was there was an on-call message last night at around 7:01, and the message said, "This is Tristan Thompson. Is on the first floor. It's just on the opposite side of the apartment."
Yeah.
And it said the AC was out.
Okay.
It's a female unit, and an officer went over there the evening and knocked on the door, and they didn't call emergency maintenance.
Okay.
And that concerns me because of the timing of the last fob reading, which was 7:16, where her fob was used, but nothing was locked. So we got that on call at 7:01.
Mm-hmm.
He called my leasing manager at 7:11, saying that the gate wasn't letting people in, and she had to talk him through how to manually turn it off.
It was now clear that the fake maintenance call had actually been made by Armando, and the call he made at 7:11 p.m. to the office staff to open the gate on the night of Mia's disappearance had been his attempt to establish an alibi. Police also suspected that since he was probably not actually at the gate, he was the one to use Mia's key fob just 5 minutes later. A press conference was scheduled for 1 p.m. on Monday, September 27th, but that planned media briefing was postponed when a shocking discovery was made. Armando had finally been found, but it wasn't the result anyone was hoping for. His body was discovered in an apartment complex in Seminole County.
I felt so defeated, like, this was the person we wanted to talk.
Discovery was made. Not p.m. to the office staff to open the gate on the night of Mia's disappearance had been his attempt to establish an alibi. Police also suspected that since he was probably not actually at the gate, he was the one to use Mia's key fob just 5 minutes later. A press conference was scheduled for 1 p.m. on Monday, September 27th, but that planned media briefing was postponed when a shocking discovery was made. Armando had finally been found, But it wasn't the result anyone was hoping